Hi, everybody. Oh, it's waiting for everyone else. Hi. What do you mean?
And we're here, and we're here, and we're live. We are live. Oh, no way. Let's see if everyone comes across. That's what we're hoping for.
There we go. You see, smooth operators we are.
Yeah.
Here.
So far, only 4 people have managed to do it.
No,
It's
man,
fine.
it's
They'll
fun.
come across. They'll come across.
Look at this magic.
across.
Look at this magic. Just
Look at that. Jump from one stream to another.
It's a beautiful
Welcome back
thing.
to the Matchday Highlights Show. We've just witnessed West Ham beat Vienna live in Austria, away from home, 2-0. Top the group, 13 points. Automatic qualification to the next round. DJ Russie B, how you feeling, mate?
Over this world, you can tell. Ticker taper parade in Hornchurch. Top of the league. We're through. We haven't got, we can put our feet up now with Zagreb. We can play Sonny Perkins. We can play all the boys. Under 23 game be nice next week. No, week after next. And job done. Job done. Very, very professional. A professional.
Yeah.
game.
It's a good way to really put it, isn't it, Matt? Like a kind of professional performance, really, isn't it?
yeah, got ourselves in front, then kept it relatively tight at the back. It was. He said didn't give much away in terms of chances. Kept, that is, like you said, that is probably the best way to sum it up. Is a professional performance.
Yeah, absolutely. Still, you're on mute, so when you do come back off of mute, let me know your brief feelings before we kind of dissect the game a bit. You're still on
Still
mute.
muted himself.
Job done. Job done.
You're still on mute, mate.
Yeah,
That is
yeah.
all right,
Yeah, job done.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was not the most exciting game in the world, was it? But you know what? We had to go out there and do a job, and that's exactly what we did, and we looked comfortable. But they were poor. You know.
They were. Well, listen, let's kind of dissect the game and give people what they came here for, which is let's discuss it. The starting lineups. I know we did that on the Matchday Live. Between all 4 of us, none of us even remotely got close to predicting the proper starting lineup. We got close. Still probably the furthest away than anyone from getting the full.
That's not surprising, is it?
But on a genuine note, the starting lineup was out, and we saw a few changes. I'll put this one over to you, Stel, first. Maybe not. Russ.
Well, the starting line, I think there's a lot there that I expected to start. I didn't think Souček would start, and I didn't think Bowen would start. All the others, yeah, and I was sort of dabbling with. I actually thought that he would play a youngster. I really did. And the irony, the only youngster I had in my starting lineup wasn't even on the bench. So, yeah, there you go.
What did you think then, Russ, when you saw that initially?
For me, he was always going to play. I mean, throughout the whole of the campaign so far, he's picked one of the starting 2. He's always picked. He's always seemed to pick Souček or Rice and one other. Whether it was Kral, it's usually Noble. So I thought he was going to probably it would have been Rice or Souček. I thought he would have picked one of them and Noble rather than having just not playing either of them. That's what he tends to do. And Tottenham lost 94th minute loser.
What a shame. I'm so upset.
Damn it! So yeah, for me, I mean, it was a stronger side than I thought a lot of us thought it was going to be. And to be honest, personally, I know Masuaku is a bane of people's lives sometimes, but it was good to see Cresswell not start.
Yeah.
Because he seems to have started a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But on the Masuaku situation, you can't deny it, Matt. For the first 20 minutes, it was kind of Masuaku's game. They kept finding space down the left-hand side. He was getting forward and he was being creative. How did you make Masuaku, in particular, in the first 20 minutes?
As I said, I suppose we've got to take the context that the team we played wasn't very good. However, we've always said he's a better left mid or left wing back than left back, and you could see that in the first 20 minutes because he had nothing to do defensively. But going forward, he was energetic. He was showing a lot of pace. He was showing willingness to beat the fullback, and he put in a couple of crosses into good positions. I think was he the one that delivered the cross that Bowen should have scored inside the first couple of minutes?
First couple of minutes, yeah.
But in fairness, he had a good game. Like he offers, the only thing I would say that he offers that Creswell doesn't is Creswell does not have the ability to beat a fullback.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of the modern fullbacks will have the pace to push past the opposition number when they're facing up to them and put a ball in. Creswell doesn't. Creswell's thing is sit deep and cross from further back. But Creswell's got the ability with his cross to do it. But you saw the different sort of threat that Masuaku would give, whether it is left back or as a left winger. You know, it did show you the option that he could even do that if Moyes needs, you know, for instance, like the game at the weekend against Wolves, we needed fresh legs. He could have been an option. You could have chucked him on the left wing as the left of the front three and just said, run at your man and put balls across, because he was putting some decent balls in and he'd done it to, you know, in the first 3 minutes. They gave him the space, but he was professional about it and utilised the space and looked very good, in fairness.
Yeah. Russie, you know, in the first 25 minutes, I don't know exactly how many chances West Ham had, but we did have our fair share of chances. Yeah. In total from the game, actually, Vienna had 13 to West Ham's 12. But there was some really, really clear-cut chances that we just couldn't put into the back of the net. Is that a concern? Am I trying to be a little bit negative?
It's always been a concern. If you go through all this season, we've never been that clinical in goal. We've never been clinical, in my opinion. So. No, shush. So we've always been clinical. And so, okay. Yeah, very good. Okay. Okay, well done. Thanks. Well, that's a subscriber. There we go. Job done.
There we go.
There we go. It doesn't matter how old they are. No, it's always the case where we haven't been, you know, we're not a clinical side. We always have loads of chances. It's always Bowen or it's Antonio and stuff like that. And so, even to, you know, it was nice to see Sonny comes on and, you know, gets a shot on target. To be honest, should have probably buried that. So, you know, there's a few, you know,
harsh on the youngster, harsh.
It was what he should have buried that. You know, if he's playing, he's good enough, so he gets put in the same boat as everyone else. But yeah, we haven't been as clinical, but we've never been, I don't think. But
what do you think? I mean, I know West Ham fans have been kind of talking a lot about we need to bring someone in to fill that spot when Antonio doesn't play. But we did have kind of chances, and Hornswaddler says it here. Bowen gets heaps of chances, but always too near to the keeper.
Yeah.
I mean, what did you make of that then, still?
Well, we do create chances. I'm just looking at the stats at the moment. We had 13 shots, of which 7 were on target, on goal. So we don't convert a lot of them, do we? And that I think that's what people are kind of worried about. But we are a creative team. You look at the players that we have. We are very creative, but yeah, we need someone clinical, don't we? And I get why people are saying that we need an alternative to Antonio. You know, and I'm not gonna don't want to hark about the past, but with all the chances we're creating, there might be a striker out there who used to play for us that could have probably put half of those away. The irony,
I agree.
The irony is that because we do create a lot of chances, we're just not. Yeah, we're not clinical, and people are going on about Bowen. I mean, the one thing I like about Bowen is he's tireless. He never stops running and never stops trying. But yeah, one thing that he needs to do is he needs to get better at finishing off his chances. Yeah, but at least we're creating. You know, that's the good thing. We're creating chances.
Right.
I kind of want to if we weren't creating chances.
What are you saying, Matt?
So when we get centre forward in January, it'll be fine.
Well, I want to
smash away all them chances.
You know, it's not going to happen, don't you? Lingard will come and that'll be it.
I want to talk about
Lingard take chances anyway.
I want to talk about the 39th minute when West Ham scored the goal, make it 1-0. Yarmolenko, it was actually made and scored by 2 players that's been getting criticised by West Ham fans a lot. Vlasic, great bit of play down the left-hand side, and a great ball to find Yarmolenko literally on the goal line, just little kind of death header over the keeper into the back of the net to make it 1-0 West Ham. Russie B, I mean, what was your thoughts on Vlasic's performance tonight?
I thought it's probably his strongest game for us. I think he was. I think he, again, was really trying, tireless, and he really had a go. And again, and when he got subbed off, he had a smile on his face, which, by what reports are meant to, he's not happy with the amount of game time he's getting, and yada yada yada. But he was getting sort of, he had a smile when he came off the pitch. He just needs a goal. And it's very similar to the whole Ben Rama situation last year, where we gave Benny a lot of time, maybe more so because we were behind closed doors, potentially. I don't know as well, because they didn't have that sort of fan, engagement, so to speak, on the pitch. So, but I thought he's probably one of his best games he's played, I'd say, in West Ham colours.
Was that goal still from Yarmolenko? Is that something that could kickstart a season, or did this performance? There you go. So that's, go for it. Let me know.
No, it won't. Look. Look. Let's put it in context. Yeah, it was a good performance by quite a number of players. Masuaku played well. Vlasic played well. Yarmolenko, goal aside, was coming back and defending, etc., doing the dirty work as well, which was great to see. But let's put it in context. This was against a really, really poor side. And will it give Yarmolenko the kickstart that he needs? No. I'd really, really love to think it would, but against a team that's going to close you down a lot quicker than Vienna were doing, he wouldn't get that opportunity. And you look around, and we've talked about Masuaku whilst we were watching the game and saying he was great going forward, but how much opportunity would he get to do that against better opposition? Vlasic, again, the same. Yarmolenko, again, the same. I think of the three, I think the boost that's been given that was needed is Vlasic. I think he will have that energy, that boost, and go, I know I can do it. Now I need to demonstrate that, maybe in the Premier League or whatever. Yarmolenko, I'd like to think so. I really would, but I'm not sure.
Just before half-time, Yarmolenko does draw in a foul from the Vienna defender and wins West Ham a penalty. Mr. Captain West Ham, Martin Noble, steps up, converts the penalty to make it 2-0. West Ham going in at half-time. Matt, what did you think of that moment and being 2-0 up?
It was a foul. A clever turn in the box from Yarmolenko. Noble stepped up. Well taken penalty. You know what? It was very similar to the one he took against Man United that he missed. However, he put it about 3 yards higher, so it wasn't in that comfortable saving range. Difficult height to save from. Well taken penalty, and in fairness, that probably finished off the game. They probably felt we should have been 3 or 4 up at half time. 2-0 flattered Vienna. But they were probably thinking, it was literally like the last kick of the half when Yarmolenko got fouled. They were probably thinking, going at half time at 1-0, we're still in the game here. And then Noble steps up, does what Noble does. Was it 33 times out of 36 or something?
Yeah.
Puts ball away, gets himself a European goal. So that's a nice little thing for him to say. Got a goal in the league.
Yeah, another tournament he scored in.
But listen,
but that probably killed the game, to be honest. Took it away from him.
It did kind of kill the game, to be honest. And we could sit here and talk about the second half and incidences in the second half. There was only really one incident I particularly want to talk about, unless you do, was the moment that David Moyes made early substitutions. He brought Krul, Fornals and Ben Rama on. Ben Rama found a really good bit of space through on the goalkeeper, and he could have squared that ball if he'd just put his head up across to Vlasic, who was empty in the box, and all he would have done would have tapped that ball into the back of the net. I think we said it during the Matchday Live. That's the sort of position and the sort of kind of game and the goal that could boost a player's confidence. And it's not saying that he would go off in a fantastic run, but it could make the difference in someone like his career, Russ, couldn't it?
Definitely, and that's what it needs for some players. It's just that one goal. And granted, the opposition we're playing, but it's still, you have to put the ball in the back of the net. And for him, if Vlasic just scored that, then he's full of confidence going into a very, very busy time. After City, we've got 9 games in December, and so You know, you want him to be full of confidence, and that's what it takes for some people. It's just one goal. We've seen that with a lot of our players. You know, once one goal's gone in, they tend to score again and again and again. And so, you know, it would have been an ideal opportunity if he'd seen them and squared it and then.
Do you think did you not think he did see it? I think he saw him.
I think he actually tried to pass it. I think it was just a really shit pass.
It was just a shit pass. Yeah, I did
think.
wonder that. I thought that crossed my.
He didn't get his foot round it. And
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't a shot. I think you're right. I think it was just a really, really shit pass.
But you know,
it would have been nice.
It would have been nice to see someone like Vlasic get on the score sheet. But at the end of the day, we've walked away winning the group. You know, I don't want people to think this sounds remotely negative. It was just probably more of a. I think I expected more of a commanding performance. It was a professional performance, but I think I wanted a bit more excitement from the game. But the game, like Matt said, come the first half.
You wanted us to thump them 5-0, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. Well, I predicted a 4-0 victory actually at West Ham.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, like point out, I did say we'd have a 2-0. So
yeah,
I'll take that as a win.
You did, and this is the group table. I'm going to bring it up for everyone to see. This is how it looks as it stands. 1 game to go, but West Ham get automatic qualification through this now, which means that we have 1 more game to play against Zagreb, but we've already qualified and we don't play our next competitive European match until March. What an absolute fantastic achievement by Moyes and the lads, isn't it, Russ?
It's amazing, and you know, we've got Mikey in the chat. Obviously, you know, if we beat Zagreb and Genk get a result against Vienna, then Genk can get in second place. So we'll have a word. We'll have a word for you, Mikey, and see if we can get us both in, man. But yeah, it's fantastic, man. It's fantastic. You know, it's a great achievement. You know, to be honest, you know, as you said, we're pretty much guaranteed. You know, not mathematically since the last couple of games, to be honest, but. Yeah, it's a great achievement and one which helps us out a little bit. Means we don't have to think about it after Zagreb until March, which is amazing.
What do you think about that still then?
Yeah, great.
Nice kind of set, you know, penultimate game before.
Well, it's fantastic. I think it was all decided in the 4th game. I think I said it just at the tail end of the watch along. I think the result that we got. Even though it was only a draw, that result that we got and how other teams have been playing, I think it was all done and dusted by then. But Moyes wanted to make double sure, didn't he? So we had, you know, he wanted us to go out and get that win. And as Matt kept saying, you know, he's not going to make any other subs until we get the 3rd goal. We never got the 3rd goal, but it's great. Our first season back in Europe for proper Europe. For how long? I'm going back till 75.
It must be. Well, we had UEFA Palermo. That was a knockout.
Before they made it into a group stage, wasn't it? That was when it was like straight knockout.
Yeah.
Would have been Palermo 2006.
And then before that,
before that would have been Stena Bucharest. I think was that the first round proper. I think UEFA Cup, year after the Intertoto victory. But again, it's not. But then we're in the final 16. You know, we're in the last 16. So when was the last time it would have been 75?
This is
what
where
it gets huge achievement. What a huge achievement.
And we've done it with ease. And I think
well, I've got this here for you just now. So played 5 games, won 4, drew 1, scored 11, conceded 2. With a +9 goal difference and 13 points, and as Mikey said,
West Ham has shown up as a solid, mature team, really shown Europe who we are. We have, I think we've actually, you know, let's not forget, even though we've won with ease all our games, we've played against teams who are in Europe regularly. You know, Genk, Vienna, I think Zagreb as well. I think they've played Champions League, haven't they?
Yeah, Zagreb must have,
Zagreb have, So they're in Europe on a regular basis. We've come in, and it could have easily been a bit of a banana skin, this group. You know, the teams that have got that experience of playing European games, and yet we've come through it the table says it. And it's great that now we don't have to. We can park this now, can't we? We go out and win the Carabao Cup in between. get through to the latter stages of the FA Cup,
Yep.
and then we can just worry about Europe again in March.
Well, I think what's really nice about this in particular is the fact that we can, like you said, we don't have to worry about the next game, but it's now about. I'll take a really keen interest. I think all West Ham fans would take a keen interest in the next game because it's about what squad rotation we're going to see, what players are going to perform, because we're all keen to see what these players are capable of doing, stepping up. Now, what we did see though, Matt, was Perkins came off the bench. I mean, yeah, okay, he had 15 minutes, but what did you think in that 15 minutes today?
Oh, mate, if he had that, was it almost his first touch and he ended up in the back of the net?
Yeah,
great run.
I think me and you both. Well, I know you definitely said it, and I sort of agreed that I was surprised that he's not bulky, but he's got time to bulk out when he gets a bit older. But he's a big lad.
He's a big lad. I did say that to you, didn't I, Matt?
6 foot what? He's
6'2".
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? Get him in the team more. Not necessarily starting, but definitely get him on the bench. Like,
why not? Why not?
Why
not
the way
give
we
these youngsters an
play,
opportunity?
we put statistically more crosses into the box than any other team in the league. You've got a guy that's 6'2" banging in goals under 23s. Why is he not on the bench?
You see, indeed, very true. Happy Thanksgiving.
Why not? Why is he not on the bench?
Yeah, no, it's very true. Very true. Happy Thanksgiving to everyone. Happy Thanksgiving.
Where'd that come from?
Freddie's looking at that saying, Dad, why is there a chicken on the screen?
It's a turkey. It's a turkey, Freddie.
No,
sorry, it's turkey,
Dad, why is our dinner on the screen? Is what he asked.
Yeah.
Russ, what's your thoughts then on the kind of next game and the young players?
Well, as we said in the watch along, I mean, personally, I would put it under 23 side. Almost exclusively under 23 side.
Nah, I don't think it'll go exclusive.
Well, I would say the majority under 23s. Then majority under 23s. As I said, a lot of people who are going to the game would have already bought a ticket, so they'll go anyway. It'll be a celebration. It's because we've done well, and hopefully give these kids the opportunity to play in front of.
Absolutely.
I'd be surprised if it's more than
60,000.
I'm looking at the fixtures. We've got Chelsea, and then we got Zagreb, and then we go away to Burnley 3 days later. I think Ross is right. I think you're going to see. I think you're going to see
a mixture of the team that played today and the kids.
Yeah,
I reckon you'll get at least 4 kids on there.
Yeah,
4. But I don't think so. For instance, top of my head, Areola will start. Whichever one of the 2 Premier League centre backs isn't the starter will start out of Dawson and Diop.
You might get.
Maslow will probably play left back.
Stop there. You might get 2 centre backs, Alese and Baptiste.
Yeah, I reckon you'll get one of them. Alongside either Dawson or Diop.
I feel like putting a bet on it.
You might get Ashby.
I reckon they'll both start. I really do.
Probably get Frederick.
Who do you think will start? What West Ham?
Frederick's a start. Frederick's a start.
Maybe Ashby.
Here we go. Here we go. Say it.
Declan Rice.
Declan Rice. Very spoken.
What I think he will do is, we've all said before, haven't we? There's a core of about 15 players that are the first team squad, like the first team impactful players. And then outside of that, you've got guys that can sort of come in and do a job. I think outside of what he considers his core, however many players it is, 15, 16, I think none of them will start.
No.
But then the guys that are making up the rest, he'll play them and then fit in kids around it to make sure that none of the key players play at all.
Yeah.
But I don't think you'll see as many kids as you think.
I think there'll be more.
I reckon he bought 4 youngsters with him tonight, and I reckon all 4 will get to play at the start. And he might even look back in that squad and maybe consider another 1 or 2. There are 1 or 2 that can come along. Someone mentioned in the watch along Ashby. He's a decent right
brilliant.
back. Yeah. Longello, he's a decent left back. You could actually see there's no reason why not. Why not? We've got so many games coming up. Why not just forget about this for the first team and just say, get Mark Noble to captain. Oh, here we go. Get Mark Noble to captain a young squad.
He's not going to want to lose. That's what I'm going to say.
He's going to what?
Moyes is not going to want to lose, because what we've now got is he's got the opportunity of going undefeated in the group phase.
Come on.
For Moyes, I think that matters.
I think
I
what
think it
matters
will.
for Moyes. I think what matters for Moyes is momentum.
Because
Do we
that's
get-
another feather in his cap.
Do we get
we
this-
were like, originally it was can we? His original target was to get to January and still be in Europe.
Yeah.
Well, he's done that.
Now he's got,
Done it.
I can finish undefeated and be qualified straight for the last 16.
Do
The
we
only-
get this gentleman on, to give us the benefit of his wisdom?
yeah, definitely. The only thing
In a
I wanna
minute,
say
in a
is-
minute.
No. So I just want to. The only fly in the ointment, not fly in the ointment, but looking, the under 23s obviously are playing very well in the PL2 at the moment, and
They
they've
are.
got a game on the Monday at Crystal Palace away. So
And they're second in the league, aren't they? They're
second
second in the league.
yeah. Just throwing it in there. Let's put him on.
Let's bring him
Let's
on.
bring on
Let's
Mr.
bring him on.
Freeze. There he is. Look.
Not even bloody there.
Freezing in the shed. Good evening, Freezing in the shed.
It's fucking cold in here.
Oi! It's not 9 o'clock. You're not allowed to swear.
Sorry. Let me
Get
just.
him off.
Well, get heating on, for God's sake. Why don't you put a heater in your shed?
Yeah, I've just switched them on. Obviously, I didn't watch the game in here. I watched the...
Thank goodness for that.
Nice.
You'd have icicles on your
When-
testicles.
When was the last time you saw West Ham top of group stages of Europe?
Well, considering this is the first time ever we've ever
Exactly.
been in the group stage of
Exactly.
Europe. Since we've been top since day one of it, don't want to spoil the
listen,
fun.
We had enough of him now. Should we kick him off?
Nice. Listen,
Mr.
on all
Obvious.
seriousness, though, we finished top of the league. We've still got a game to go. Are you surprised that we've kind of continued with that form throughout the Europa League and kind of got ourselves through in the position we're in?
I think if you look back at the start of the season, you could probably say to be surprised that we're sitting top four. We've knocked Man United, Man City out of the League Cup. And we're top of the group with a game to spare, already qualified, not playing again till March in Europe. So
By that
gives
time, we
us
would have
a
won the
chance to
Carabao
get-
Cup.
Well, when is the final? I think the final's in March, isn't it?
It's in March, isn't it? Beginning, isn't it? Beginning.
So,
of March.
well, but we could be in the quarterfinals of the FA Cup by the time.
There you go. See. I'm not the only one
Nigel,
thinking
hold on a
this.
second. Hold on a second. Who is this
So-
guy that's
Who's
freezing in
this
the
guy?
shed? Who is this guy? Is he talking positively?
Well,
What?
in the day, you can only talk positively about this
Yeah,
season, can't you?
Okay.
So,
You're just talking about being freezing. David thinks you're in a sauna.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I wish I was. I've been Black Friday shopping.
Oh,
So-
here we go. What have
Here
you
we
bought?
go.
Here we go.
I've got that.
Of course. On the website.
No, in the shop, son. I'm local, aren't I?
He's been in the shop.
Yeah, just
He's a
scroll
towner.
up there.
He's a towner.
What do you reckon? How much?
£3.
£5. Done. Yes.
Oh.
Seen it.
50% off.
It's in the basket.
That weren't the best bargain, though, because this was in the basket as well.
What's that?
That's Bobby Moore.
Bobby Moore.
That's
Bobby
it.
Moore auction, man.
Bobby
Listen,
Moore.
Yeah,
tell me,
yeah.
come on, upsell
quid,
it then.
8
Nige.
quid.
Tell us.
Right, actually, the face value, yeah, as we like to say in the game, £60. What
Oh,
do you
fucking
think
hell.
this was in the basket, in the sale
But-
basket?
30 quid, 20 quid.
No.
60% off.
22
20 quid.
pound.
Oh, I was
22
close. I was
pound.
close.
There you
I
go.
was close.
I
I'm
had to get
currently-
for 22 quid. I
Hold
had
on a
to
minute.
get the Bobby Moore action, man. I'm sorry.
Right, here you go. The Carabao Cup final that we'll be in is on the 27th,
Ooh,
and then we
early
can
this year.
concentrate on.
Well, wait a
what's
minute,
that?
Anton. That's the website, the West Ham website.
Oh,
You
he's
gotta
in the
wait
queue.
to go
He's
on.
in the
He's in the
queue.
queue.
He's in the queue.
So yeah. So that
Trying to buy
was
some stuff.
that's what that's just some of the stuff that has come my way.
Mikey is a massive fan from you, Nigel. This is our Genk turned West Ham fan.
Oh, is he?
Mikey, yeah, he's a
Is he-
massive
Yeah.
Genk
A
fan.
Belgium ammo, is he?
Yeah,
Belgium.
well,
Well, he
only
is
now.
now. He is
only
now.
now, yeah.
He is
only
now.
The last couple of weeks, yeah.
All right. Your countdown. I see him earlier. I think he said 10 minutes till kickoff. And I thought, like, is that what he comes on? Does he go on YouTube account? It's like, your countdown, 10 minutes till kickoff. And that's what he does. He just goes round random YouTube accounts giving a countdown. So,
No, not quite.
no. So,
what did you think of the game then, Nige? What was your kind of what did you take home from today's game?
Look, I think I was listening to Russ earlier when they made the subs about saying, because I quickly came on because obviously I was 2 minutes in front. And when I see who was bringing on the subs, I just had to be there for Still's reaction. And luckily I could get in my TARDIS, jump back 2 minutes to see Still go, what?
It's like Back to the Future.
Like, when you see, but the fact I think Russ was right is when you've taken those people out there and it's really cold, the last thing you want them to do really is sit around. So why not give them 20 minutes to run around, warm up and everything. And if they don't play, they've got to go to training. Oh, excuse me. So they'll have to go training. So this way, they have a bit of run around and everything else. And I've not seen his thighs, David, to be honest, because that would mean I'd have to take him out of the box.
Yeah, it loses the value, doesn't it? Leave it in the box.
You don't ever take.
Have you not seen the videos though of how they do it?
No,
I've gone a bit viral recently.
I don't think I could do it.
No, I couldn't do it.
I think I couldn't do it. No. But
Whereas
I mean, the poor old lad who came on, Perkins,
he's great.
He was unlucky not to score. Couple of good touches.
Yeah.
It's something Colton Cole was apparently doing punditry after. I don't know what you call it, but where apparently he gave away that when West Ham got hold of him, they didn't know his best position. And apparently they've only just put him up front and then he's not stopped scoring.
Only this season, yeah.
So that's Colton Cole's obviously got an eye for a player there because he he's coached the kid for 2 years and didn't know he was going to be any good as a striker. So it's good to see we're in safe hands there.
I mean, how old was Arnautovic when we put him at centre forward?
Who cares about him? He's gone. He's in the past. I don't give a shit about him.
He's a local lad apparently, but that's Hackney. If you think that Hackney's local,
don't start, Nigel.
Towner.
From Hackney's North London to me, but still, he's a local lad, and that's what you want, really, isn't it? We want to see these kids coming through, getting game time. I'm all for now. Playing, and when you look at December, while we all laugh and joke or whatever say about we need to give the first teamers and the fringe players a run out in games like this. When you've already won the group, when you've got 9 games in December alone, and then January it comes thick and fast as well.
It does. Stop there. Yeah.
The football season's mad. You've played 4 games in August, 4 games in September, 4 games in October, and then then they expect you once the season's warmed up. Bang, there's you go. There's 15 games in November and December.
Yeah,
that's a lot of football, isn't it? But successful clubs, that's what they've got to do. The Liverpools, the Man Uniteds and everything have done this for years and years. It's a new thing for us. We just got to get used to it.
But we're doing well in it, aren't we? I mean, we've got through. I was saying earlier, just before you got on, this group stage, I think everyone's now going, oh yeah, it was really easy. But we were playing against quite experienced European, European teams. They've been in Europe. Every one of these 3 teams that we played have been in Europe quite regularly. But we've so I don't want us to get carried away because the real work starts now, because that's when some of the Champions League teams drop. What's the German team that's just dropped down? Is
Dortmund.
It Frankfurt? Dortmund. There, I mean,
Zenit St. Petersburg.
Yeah.
There's going to be some very interesting teams to sort of play against. We'll get Zenit, won't you?
But they've got to. Have they not got to go into the play the group stages?
Yeah, they've still got to play the 32s first.
They've got to play the knockout. Yeah.
So, what pot was we in when the draw was made? I thought we was in pot 3.
Pot 4.
We were in pot.
No, we got dropped. We got dropped to pot 4 because Celtic and Rangers qualified, and because their points. I'm sure it was because their points.
Yeah, our coefficiency was terrible. So therefore, if we were in pot 4, UEFA made us the weakest team in this league. Would that be right then? If
No,
pot
maybe
four?
It was
was
something
pot
like
three then.
no.
Maybe
I
it
think
was
we pot
pot three
three.
then.
Yeah, we definitely.
Yeah, I thought it was pot three. But then
It must be
again,
pot three.
to pot three, UEFA obviously, I think Zagreb will pot one because they were coming out of the Champions League, and then probably Vienna would have been pot two. So that's how UEFA saw the standings. So we've overperformed in there straight away. Going into straight into the last, what is it, the group of 16, the last 16, to be in the last 16 of the UEFA Cup, fantastic achievement alone this season, no matter where we finish in the league.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
roll on.
Roll on Barcelona.
Well, roll on Seville.
Seville, yeah, Seville. Yeah.
That's where I'm looking to be in May.
It'd be lovely.
Absolutely.
Nice, man.
So how did you see the game pan out? I mean, we talked about the first half and I mean, there wasn't a lot of action going on, but were there any standout moments for you or any standout players, mate?
Yeah, Yarmolenko's goal was a standout moment because I've been flicking through Twitter watching him absolutely be berated.
Yeah.
And thinking, thank God they don't have live tweets into a stadium because the bloke would absolutely be demoralised by the way the West Ham Twitterati were destroying this bloke. And I just thought,
fickle. But you know we're fucking fickle.
I know still. I've watched you often enough.
How dare you?
So this is the fickle finger of fate pointing at you, son.
Who's that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So it's so I thought good on you, mate, to get up and get that goal because he huffs and puffs a lot. He gives 100%, whether you think he's doing the right thing or not. He gives everything in the game of football. You can't argue with that.
Yeah. I think a lot of people that see proper football have said that. The only problem with him is
that
his
your
injuries.
trouble then?
No, mate. I've never slated him for his ability. It's just his unfortunate, injury problems. He's every season he's played for. This is the third season that he's been with us that he hasn't been injured yet. Because every time he's played for us in the first two seasons, he showed an awful lot of promise. Was it the first or second season with us where he scored that brace against Everton?
First. That's when he got
first
injured.
Season? And that's where he got injured that same game. And it was such a shame because you saw that you could see he's got talent. I don't think this is the problem with fans is that his talent is undisputed. It's just his injury record that's been a problem. Same with Fredericks, the same. I think he's got a talent, Fredericks, and he's just his injuries. Early season this season he was doing really well. He got injured. That's the unfortunate thing, and I think
he got injured setting up a goal against Genk.
Yeah,
it was his last injury.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's good that Yarmolenko scored. I think but I do think his days are numbered. I won't lie. I think maybe if
he's the highest paid player at the club. Yeah.
At the moment.
He's 32, and it's at the end of the day, I can't see him getting another contract.
No.
Out of us, age-wise, injury-wise, bit part player-wise. But who knows? At the end of the day, stranger things have happened at sea. We're the club that sent Colton Cole packing, and 3 months later had to ask him to come back.
Come back, yeah.
And I swear, if he was young enough, we'd have been asking him to come back again.
Okay.
With no striker, but if you're in the Europa Cup again next season, Yarmolenko could be a type of player to keep around. The only thing is where he is. What does against him for us really is his wages, because you don't want to keep a bloke on 120 odd grand a week, playing just Europa League or Cup football.
Yeah.
Really true.
Well, there's rumour that Shevchenko has taken over. Where did you say, Ross? Genoa,
yeah.
And there's talk about him wanting to take him in January, and I think he'd probably go. And
is that right? Shevchenko's took over Genoa.
Yeah.
So, what are Ukraine out of the qualifying for the World Cup? Then I thought they still had a playoff chance. Did they not, or did they not make it?
No, they're still in the playoff chance, but he's now Genoa's whatever it was. Where was it thing? Yeah, he's taken over there. So, he's only just joined like literally the last week or so for that, I think, wasn't it? Very, very recently. So yeah,
Yeah.
it could happen. Could happen. Yeah, it's one of those things. I think people were like, we need the numbers, but as you said, it's on a lot of wages, and for that wages, you could get a couple of. There's plenty of options out there, isn't there? Plenty of options out there, but whoever Mr. Moyes wants.
And people will say probably the Italian league is slower, so it might suit him more.
Suit him better. Yeah.
Suit him better. Yeah, but yeah, no. I mean, I think fans get confused by ability and by things like injury records, etc. So yeah, I'm pleased for him. And he put in a shift today. I think he actually put in a decent shift against.
There weren't one bad
Vienna.
player out there for me. I think Vlasic looked better.
Yeah,
he could, he could be next season's Ben Rama.
Yeah,
in that he's bedding in this season.
Yeah,
I think it's no coincidence he actually looks better playing in the Europa League games than he does. Kroll's the one that mystifies me a bit, and where I'm mystified is if he's not starting in the Europa League, it baffles me why we've signed him on loan.
Well, we talked about that before the game started, and we couldn't quite work that out.
Yeah.
Why he's not playing more games, and there was a suggestion. Matt suggested that maybe because of I don't know, one of you guys said because he just recently got over COVID, and maybe that was an impact. But I'm with you on that. I don't really understand. And there's some other people have suggested that maybe, once he hits that threshold, certain number of appearances, then we've got an obligation to buy. I did ask, is it because Moyes is not convinced by him and maybe he's just not giving him the game time?
What did he say? What did Moyes say? Did Dave answer still? Did he give you the answer why he's not picking him then?
No, he was busy. He was over in Vienna, so he was
showing Stel his coffee machine, his new coffee machine.
You should have got Anton to ask him. A fella jock, he'd have understood what he was saying.
Well, that's probably true. But then
I'm too busy shopping.
Yeah, but
I'm not leaving my spot of the queue.
Anton will tell you that he's not Scottish, so probably wouldn't have,
Nigel, have you subscribed to Stel's new channel yet?
Oh, you really are pushing your luck.
Well, I
you
did.
Really are.
I can't seem to find it.
You did. And someone deleted it, didn't they? There you go.
There's another one.
There isn't another one.
Listen, there was me and 5 others. I mean, bloody hell.
Oh, Russ has gone looking for my new channel.
Yeah.
He's on the phone to Samasia Boo.
Oh, he probably is actually.
You messaged him going with you.
So game over. Europe now parked for the next few months. Back to the Premier League. I mean, we've got massive. We've got a lot of games coming up, haven't we? Do you think that maybe come the Zagreb game, he's going to start giving a few of the youngsters a bit more? And we talked about who might start in that, and I know it's a few weeks away, but surely he's not going to risk playing any regular first team players in that, like he did tonight, like Bowen and Souček and people like that.
I don't know. I think I think he will possibly because when you look at the squad, it's a good squad, but you've still got to keep these players playing. So you can't just leave them out as such. Are you just going to go and play the under-23s? Are you? No, you're not, are you? Realistically.
Well, no. Even maybe at least a third of that team coming out against Zagreb.
I think he would consider playing a few, but he certainly wouldn't play. I don't think he would play half.
No, so no. I mean, look, Ariola's going to play. Diop's going to play. Fredericks is going to play. You're going to see people like this playing, aren't you? You could probably start with that Perkins up front. You know that Declan Rice. I mean, Souček's the one. You can't see him playing, but then Kroll, you would expect Kroll to start, Noble to start.
Noble, yeah.
But the bad thing is if we go for the games, so we got Man City. We go Man City Sunday, Brighton Wednesday, Chelsea Saturday, Zagreb. Is it not? Then on the Thursday,
and then away to
Burnley on the Sunday. Then we go Arsenal on the Wednesday. We play at home again. Is it Norwich?
Norwich, and then is it
Norwich,
Spurs after
and then
that?
Spurs in the cup.
Yeah.
And then we go into that mad thing where we got Southampton at home, and then we got Watford and Palace. I mean, the only good thing is I don't think we leave London apart
No,
from
I was going to
Burnley
say
for
we're
one
not travelling
game,
very far apart from Burnley. Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
cost me a fortune in away tickets.
Oh, are you going to any of them or what?
Oh, still. We don't discuss.
No, I don't.
We're not in the ticket group here, are we? We have to discuss that somewhere else.
What ticket? What ticket group are you talking about?
Do
you want to wrap up, Anton? Or are you still shopping?
No, I'm shopping. You wrap up. I'm not joking. I've got quite a lot. I've actually put the Bobby Moore doll in the basket.
Yeah.
So.
So what's your next plans, Mr. Shedman? We ain't seen you for a while. You've been quiet.
Yeah, I'm putting things together. I've got a website about to go in December live, my website. So yes.
Yeah.
That
I did
live.
offer him my daughter's services, but he clearly didn't think, to go
well,
ahead with that.
I got but it's not someone made me an offer I couldn't refuse still. And it weren't Al Pacino.
Well, if my daughter was making you an offer you couldn't refuse, I'd be having bloody words with her. So.
Well, that's true. Yeah. No, this man done a brilliant job, and he's really looked after me, and he's made it a lot easier for me to get it up and running. So I've been producing content, doing research, reading books like this.
Lou Macari.
To bring your stories from the inside, not just from that book, but some of the stories that I know that I've got and everything else in regards to content going forward.
Good. Cool. Sounds good. When's it launching? Roughly.
Hopefully it'll be either the first or second week in December.
Might be clashing with ours, Anton.
I don't think it'll clash.
No, it won't clash. It'll be completely different content. Completely different content. We'll have to put links up.
Well, you've got someone like Nigel who knows what he's talking about versus us who don't know what
the rest of you lot.
Well, I mean, I'm talking really. No, it's fine. You didn't mean to drag me into it. You were talking about this man beside me, so I know that.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I've got 178 quid in the basket. The missus will go mental if I commit to that. But I think I'm gonna do
but
it.
you got a magazine style channel going on there. I mean, you got your football chat of a night, you got your recipes in the afternoon.
Fuck off.
What more could you not have, isn't it? We've got the Mary Berry of the West Ham world.
We haven't done no fucking recipes for years. None of this channel. Thank you very much.
We've had a change of direction, Nigel.
All right. What, you're just going to stick to the cooking? What?
Yeah. That's what I thought. There's too many West Ham channels out
Nigel,
there.
we've been to the asylum and back 45,000 times in the last couple of days.
Look, there's loads. I believe it or not, I will have a YouTube channel, but I will not be doing any live stuff on there. So
what? Not at all.
Not at all. I won't do any live stuff. It'll all be pre-made stuff and everything. I'm not going to join the live game at all. It's not for me. I mean, I don't want to think. I saw a YouTube channel the other day, West Ham, or a football YouTube channel, where there was more people taking part in the discussion than there was watching. And it weren't on here.
Yeah, but a lot of people.
I know you have moved on from that.
We've moved on from that. Yeah.
What did you watch?
We're now in double figures. We're now in double figures.
I watched the YouTube channel where there was more people taking part in the discussion.
Yeah, but they enjoy it. But for them, it's a community, isn't it? Though, so for some people, and I think for a lot of people, it's a, particularly during lockdown, for some people, it was like they don't talk to anyone apart from going to West Ham. So it's quite sweet, I think. But as you said,
no. Look,
if anyone does want to subscribe, let us know. 10,000. Thank you very much.
Hey, look, it's horses for courses. For me, I try and do different things.
Pepper Pig Chenko. If you don't know the infamous Nigel Khan yet, you never will do.
Homeless hammer. Fucking hell, I tell you what. I don't know. You should have seen the look my wife gave me when I walked out the West Ham shop with frigging Action Man and the
She must have thought this child will never grow up.
Well, I was on a training course this week from my shed, so I had to do it. I've spent 4 days in this shed learning something that I already knew, but I needed to do it. And the looks the other people were doing, you could see them looking. Every day I made sure I sat in a different position. And today was a good chat as they all got a guided tour of the shed.
Must be really interesting what you do. In the meantime,
were there any of them West Ham fans?
No,
were they all...
no. They all thought I was barking mad, but I admit it, innit? To do this, you've got to be barking mad.
Yeah.
Oh, your missus certainly thinks you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But let's obviously talking about the game again.
Oh yeah, we've got about that. It is a review, isn't it?
This man put up this just now on Instagram. Obviously with Sonny, he's not what I thought he looked like, Sonny Perkins. I don't know why.
What did you think he looked like?
Well, he looked different from the picture you put up the other day.
What picture did I put up the other day?
That.
Well, that's the same person. He just happens to have grown his hair.
Unbelievable. I think he's something like our 900. Nigel knows better than me. 973rd player.
We are approaching that. It's a
close.
thing. We're not. Yeah, I think in the next 5 to 6 years, we will get the 1,000th player.
Well, 973, I think.
But I need to check them stats because I don't know if the people that have compiled them are including the Thames Ironworks people.
No.
What is this 9,000? The 1,000th player? What to have signed for us?
Yeah, no, different player to have played for West Ham.
Different player to have played for West Ham.
So, you need to have a look at that, Nigel, because a few of them.
Because obviously there is a school of thought that I'm chairman of that excludes those that only played for the Thames Ironworks from having represented West Ham United, because we see it as two different entities.
That's an awful lot of my Hammers 11s to do.
I know. 973. But yeah, because I think you need to look at that, Nigel. Have a word.
Yes. I don't mind people can have that, but I think what we should actually separate it and say the first, 35 only played for the Thames Ironworks and never actually pulled on a shirt in claret and blue called West Ham United. And that's why I like to differentiate.
And there's two orders on this. It's a bit confusing.
Yeah.
On my list. Anyway, I'll leave that to you.
Right, going back to the game so we can close off and get on with our lives. Through to the top of the league. That's it. It's all done and dusted. The game against Zagreb now is like we'll see what happens. See what Moyes does. You're right, Nigel. Probably some of the, I don't want to call them fringe players because I don't feel like we've got fringe players this season because they've all done a job, whether it be in the Premier League or whether it be in Europe or whether it be in the cup competitions. So to me, they don't feel, I guess if you're looking at the Premier League, there are some players who are not regulars.
Yeah, core and not core.
Core, yeah. But at least we now put that to bed and we move on and we go into the beginning from Sunday, 10 games from Sunday until the end of this calendar year. Is going to be quite testing, isn't it? And I think our fringe players are going to come to the fore, or they're going to have to. The likes of Yarmolenko, you might see more of Fredericks, players, Masuaku, players like that. We're going to have to do that, aren't we? Yeah. We're not going to get through this next 10 games without those.
Everyone's in the same boat, though. It's like some teams, if they haven't got to the quarter final, some people obviously we've got the Tottenham game in the FA in the League Cup, but there's going to be still, even like teams who aren't necessarily qualified for Europe or anything in the Premier League, they're still going to have like 6 or 7 games in December, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
so-
we've got 2 extra, haven't we? Because
Yeah.
of the Zagreb game and the Spurs game. Otherwise, it would have been 7. And when you look at 7 games in a month, you think, well, that's tough, but that's doable. But with those 2 extra games,
But the thing I always try out is that, we've all spoke to ex-players, and if you ask them, and I have asked them, about what do you prefer? How do you prefer these situations? And they all say we prefer situations like this.
Yeah.
2 games a week, 2 games a week, 2 games a week, because what they do is they train, they play, light train, rest, play. They want to
And they
play
prefer
games. They don't want to
Yeah.
spend 4 days on the training field.
Mm.
They will train less, and that's what they want. They want to train less because they're playing. They enjoy the playing. You look back to 80. If we keep arcing back to when will we get a season to match 85, 86? Me and Canning Townlend were talking about this the other day, where it was like last season people were doing their best to compare last season to 85, 86, where we didn't feel it was. While it was our best ever season in the Premier League, didn't have that 85, 86 feel because we weren't up the table. Yeah, we did well with league position, but we weren't challenging. Now we're sitting 4th. I mean, blimey, if only the Wolves game had been a win, we'd have been taking on Man City with the opportunity to be right there or thereabouts.
I know.
Because Man City ain't playing fantastic football
De
in
Bruyne
the
is
way.
still out with COVID.
Yeah, in the way that they are.
Love it.
Done.
So
$70 gone.
There's a lot of football to be played, but I think that's what the players want. I mean, was that a picture tonight of Declan Rice? Was it?
Yeah.
So Declan Rice is out there. Not come on. Look at him. Look in his kit.
Yeah.
Well, he was on the bench, so he would be in his kit.
Was he on the bench? Was he?
He was on the bench.
He was on the bench,
Yeah.
Well, that was a bit silly then, wasn't it?
A bit John Terry-esque, wasn't it? When
John Terry putting on his shirt just to go and pick up a cup.
Just to have your photograph done on Instagram. And he got a song to sing on Twitter or something.
Yeah, he's too busy on Twitter, isn't he?
So, but that's January though. There's no let up. That's the mad thing is we're all focusing on. We've got 12 games in so many days between now and January, and then you walk into January and you go FA Cup. You got league games, FA Cup, everything. There's no international break until March.
Thank goodness.
Isn't there the AFCON as well? When's AFCON?
AFCON is
yeah,
on
but we
in
play
January.
through that. And if you listen to Klopp, that's the Mickey Mouse
yeah.
Cup that nobody's cared about. So, who do we lose to the AFCON?
Ben
Rama and Masuaku.
Masuaku's team qualified, did they?
I don't think
I'm
Congo
not sure. I think they are. I think they're in the. Are they not?
No,
I don't. Well, I don't. Unless they're in the because they've qualified. A few of them are qualified because there's also the African World Cup qualifying.
Yeah, still going on.
Which they've gone through to that. Same as the playoffs as well. You've got the World Cup playoffs as well.
So there you go. There's our next games. City away on Sunday, followed by Brighton at home on the Wednesday, Chelsea at home on the Saturday, Zagreb away the following Thursday. Then it's bouncing on the games again. Burnley away, Arsenal away, Norwich at home, Tottenham at home. Doesn't really stop there, does it?
Tottenham away.
Away, sorry, yeah.
Then Boxing Day.
It's full on.
So it's pretty much non-stop now to the 1st of January, isn't it?
As Nigel said, the one benefit of that is that you only get, the team only have to travel far for one game, Burnley. Everything else is in or around London. So yeah.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Could be a lot worse.
Yeah. And like you said, Nigel, if you want to be a successful team, this is what you got to do. And I think the fans will relish it. I think as fans, going to games on a regular basis is going to be fun.
I mean, looking at those games, if you're going to ask me to pick, you can ask me if you want to pick one out that I see as a must-win. Do you want to ask me,
Nigel? Which game would you see as the game that we got to win?
I'm glad you asked me that, Stel, because I've been looking at this, and actually, if I'm thinking as all I want to do is really see West Ham win a trophy.
Spurs.
the Spurs game for me is the one where I want to see Antonio, Declan Rice, Souček, Fabianski.
How many days is that before the next game? So that's on the 22nd, and then we got Southampton at home on the 26th.
Yeah, four games.
God, Souček won't be eating his potato salad over Christmas, will he?
So for me, that's the game where I think beat them. We're in semi-final.
I know.
You know, I know it's going to be tough because there's going to be, I can't remember what the draw is. Chelsea probably and Liverpool are left in it.
Yeah.
So, but you
then
never know.
At that point, anyone can go through. You know, look what we did against Man City.
Well,
you know,
I'm pretty sure in 2006 it was Chelsea, Liverpool, Middlesbrough, and West Ham left in the semi-final. And I was sitting in my van and they pulled Liverpool out first and then Chelsea. And I was banging the dashboard of my van, thinking that we'd got the shit team left in the tournament. So therefore, that's what I'll be looking for, hopefully. But we've got to beat Tottenham first. And, at the end of the day, if a pub team come from Slovenia couldn't beat them, and let's face it, they finished all right. They had 10 men on the pitch. They still finished with Son on the pitch and with Harry Kane on the pitch.
Yeah,
and he had some good people out there.
I think we could do a job on them. I think we've proved that we're capable of more than doing a job on them. But
I mean,
go on,
you
mate.
still got another month left. They could have another 3 managers before then, so it'd be all right. Don't worry.
It's just not. I mean, as Moyes always says, you just look forward to the next game and you worry about the next game before But I just wonder, maybe we had an eye on Sunday with today's lineup, but you can get away with that given our position in Europa League. The fact that it was more or less done and dusted.
Yeah.
But yeah, it might be a bit different when it comes to the Spurs game because. If we're still sniffing around the top 4 by the time we get to Spurs, I think it's doable, but it's going to be tough on the players. That relentless. It's such a shame that the transfer window doesn't open in December for us rather than it opening, in January.
Yeah,
because
it's lose on Sunday, we're still top 4.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying it's a free hit. I'm not. But at the end of the day, if after 14 games we're still in the top 4, yes, we'd have just lost our 2 games on the trot. But I suppose the only disappointment really would have been the Wolves defeat out of that. And bearing in mind, who thought we'd get to November before we lost our first away game?
Exactly.
I can tell you stories from 30 years ago where I went to about 15, 16 away games over a course of 18 months, and West Ham didn't win one of them. And, I still remember the day we beat Sheffield United 2-0 in 1991, and me and my mate, we'd known each other for about 3 years, and I pointed out to him, that's the first time we'd been away and watched West Ham win. So it's this season's just onwards and upwards, isn't it?
Yeah.
There you go. We used to win 3 away games a season. That's what we used to win. 3 or 4 away games a season. So we got to do we get to read that out?
Get to read what out, mate?
Rusty's little message.
No.
No.
That's for private.
Oh, right. Okay.
No, you're right. But now, not only are we showing consistency in. Thank you, CC. Much appreciated, mate. Now we're not only showing consistency in our home achievements. We're doing it away from home as well, which is, yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Just showing consistency, full stop, which is what he came in and said from the start. That's what he wanted to do. He kind of took it back to basics, built it from back end through the front end, and and now he's got consistency going throughout that team, and he's got
Well, it's
consistency
what he does.
throughout
Isn't it?
that. He's got it
wins.
throughout the squad though, yeah, and that's the thing. As much as we see performances that at the end of it we're like, oh, why did he play him or why did he do that? Look at where we're at.
Yeah.
Through
Now you
League and
understand the
Europa
logic.
League. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Week in and week out, every single one of us, or most of us, sit there and go, why are you playing him? Why are you doing that? But
yeah, you see the logic. Let's finish off with Mandy's question. Mandy wants to know, who would you like to see playing in the last Europa League game? For me, it'd be the 4 that he took out today. I'd like to see them all given a chance. You know, you've got 2 very good young central defenders in Alese and Baptiste. Sonny Perkins came on, as you saw, maybe starting up front. And Dan Chesters, I don't know if you know much about Dan Chesters, mate. The new Joe Cole, they're calling him.
He came on, and I thought he had some nice touches. Didn't he come on in the Genk game at home?
The Genk game at home, yeah.
Like 5 or 10 minutes, yeah.
And I thought that was another great move by Moyes to put him out there. And he showed, he ran about a bit, and I was a bit desperate for him to get hold of the ball because I think a couple of players would sort of bypassing him, but he finally got on the ball and had a couple of touches, and he looked assured and didn't look nervous. So I'd be happy to see Dan Chesters. I don't go with both the centre backs still. I think you've got to have someone next to them. You know, these are
to guide them. Then it's possible because Alese can also play left back. It's possible
I
that
still don't. Yeah, you know, for me, at the end of the day,
I think it's a bold move like that. You know, we've learned the lesson. If you think back to Sam Allardyce against Forest in the FA Cup, he hung all those players out to dry, and
he hung them out. That's a big difference.
Moyes isn't that guy. He's never shown us at any moment in his West Ham managerial career or Everton managerial career that when he's comfortable in a competition that he'll play a shitload of youth players in one go. I don't think he's designed that way. I really don't think he is. I don't know really what manager except for Sam Allardyce is, to be honest.
Well, for me, you know, it's not a nostalgia program, but for me that was Allardyce sticking 2 fingers up at the fan base, because not only because what he did was, it weren't the fact that he chucked in 5 or 6 youth players, it was the fact he changed the formation, and they didn't even use that formation in the youth team. And you know, and that, well, you know, I would like to say that was unforgivable, but let's face it, we all know
there's more things that he did.
I hated the man from the day he walked in.
He did a lot more that was unforgivable than that.
P-Gads, just for your reference, no, we're not. No, they've honoured the ban for the Vienna game, even though they were in lockdown and no one could go. So, no.
Blessing in disguise, really, that, wasn't it? You know, which means that we've got fans for our next away game in the knockout stage, which is good. All we've got to do is behave. But there you go. Right, let's wrap up. We've done an hour.
Yep, cool. That's us through.
Anton's done his shopping.
You what?
Anton's done his shopping. We've done an hour.
Yep.
I think we spoke about 10 minutes on the game and 50 minutes on, well, since Nigel came on.
I've lowered the tongue.
Listen, still, I've got one question for Nigel. Nigel, what are we?
What are we?
We're
a football club from fucking East London. That's what we are, son.
He knows it. He knows it.
He knows. He ain't falling back.
We're immense.
For anyone in the chat, tell me what we are. I don't even know what day today is. Still, what day is today?
It is Thursday.
So tomorrow, lunchtime live, possibly a daily. You're doing a
get your bread pudding recipes in.
Got the late coming up tomorrow night, and I've got all the fellas from Claret and Booze, Nigel's new mates.
What, Nick and Gary and John.
Nick, Gary, and John coming on. But it's irony, when I spoke to them, they said, "Oh, we got Russ coming on tomorrow," and I went, "Oh, okay." But they're doing it from 9 till 11. And then I said, "Well, we more than welcome. Come on and do one at midnight." Yeah, we're doing a late tomorrow.
Well,
so if you're around, Nigel, and you're not asleep, might bring you on as a special guest.
Tomorrow, I possibly might be back. I'm out. I'm out tomorrow.
Are you out or out?
No, I'm out.
Oh, just only out.
Got
Sonia.
a good, yeah, I got a birthday party to go to.
He'll sneak away early from.
Well, he's an 18-year-old, so
Yeah,
I'm not
yeah.
sure quite what they want old people hanging around. But yeah, got a little shindig, and then out Saturday night. Actually,
All right. Well, there you go. So if you're around, never know.
So we should have the preview.
So Russ will
coming
do
up.
his
Yeah.
on Saturday.
On Saturday we'll have the preview for the Man City. Then the match day live. There's a really small chance I could go. Small chance I'm going. So I'll keep you updated if I am. But
really?
Yeah.
Where'd you get a ticket from so late in the day?
I just don't know, mate. Just a mutual friend.
when you have the brothers on, you got to ask them, yeah, which one's Reg and which one's Ron. See what they argue about. It's quite funny. I started something there.
Right, Nigel, plug. When's your website go live?
When I'm ready.
So when in 2022?
I'm no marketeer, you know that. I ain't got a clue. I can do all this, and then I thought, should I market something? Yeah, they said, do you need a Facebook page? I never thought about that. Do I need a Facebook page? I don't know. It's like, all right. Do I need a new Twitter account? No, just change the name of yours. I didn't know you could change the name of your Twitter account, but there you go. So I'm learning as I go along. So it will
learn
be the
fast,
first,
mate. Learn fast.
Yeah, the 30.
And then you can tell me what I need to know when I start my own channel up.
Yeah,
no, it's already done. I've spent years training him, Nigel, and then he decides to pop off.
And I've ignored everything you ever told me.
I've created this monster.
Someone's taking the blame.
Apologies to all of viewers. This is what I have created. But hey, right, listen.
All right,
that brings an end to the show. Thank you for watching. We're through to the next round, and yeah, West Ham victory, and we're back on the winning formula. On to Man City next in the Premier League. Thanks, Nige. Thanks, Stel. Thanks to everyone for watching. Subscribe, like, comment. If you want to be a member, please do that. Come on, you Irons.